Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our 100,000th student celebration. So we are celebrating this week, sending over 100,000 students to college with Tennessee Achieves, and we're doing that by hosting a series of panels. You guys have chosen to watch what I would argue is probably our most favorite panel, because our main goal here at Tennessee Achieves is to help students graduate from college. And today we're going to hear from three of our favorite graduates of Tennessee Achieves. So before I introduce Chastity, who's going to be our moderator, let me go over a few housekeeping tips. So at the bottom of your screen, you are all muted as viewers. At the bottom of your screen, however, there is a Q&A section that you can type in any questions that you might have for the panelists, and we'll be sure to save some time at the end of the Zoom so that we're able to get to your questions. And you can also chat to each other or to the panelists. So if you have anything to say, we'll be sure to monitor that. So Chastity has been with Tennessee Achieve. She's a managing complete coach. She's been with us for 4 years. There's nobody better to host this panel than Chastity. She works with students every day. She does anything she can to help the students and really goes above and beyond. So Chastity, go ahead and take it away.
Yay. Thanks, Jackie. Thank you guys so much for joining me today to have this wonderful discussion. All three of you were Tennessee Promise students that have moved on to great things. I'm excited to have this opportunity to celebrate you and all your success. So thank you so much for being with me this afternoon, and let's get started. So first, do you guys mind telling me a little bit about yourselves? Do you mind introducing yourself? Tell me your name, where you attended high school, where did you complete your first 2 years of college, and then what you're doing now.
I'll go. Hi, everyone. I'm Cassie Fisher. I attended Collierville High School, and I completed my first 2 years at Southwest Community College. Go Salukis. Right now, I'm a senior at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, so go Heels. And right now, I'm working at a real estate firm, and I am majoring in management and society.
I'll go ahead. So my name is Zachary Bowling, and I went to Carter High School in Strawberry Plains, Tennessee. And I graduated from Carter in 2012, and then I went straight into Mississippi State. I did my 2 years there, and then I moved to the University of Tennessee, where I did my next 2 years, and I got a degree in finance. And then now I am finishing up my master's, so my MBA that I'll complete in this upcoming December. But what I'm doing now is I'm a senior level sales rep for a major logistics company called Coyote Logistics. And so that's what I do now.
That's so great. Candace, what about you?
I'm Candace Jones. Where I attended high school, I attended Chattanooga Girls Leadership Academy, otherwise known as CGLA, and I graduated in May of 2018. I recently graduated from Chattanooga State Community College, and I majored in paralegal studies, and currently I am looking for either a paralegal job or another paralegal internship. And for the internship, I was thinking of also doing a part-time store associate job.
That's really cool. That's really cool. That's awesome. So Zach, students often change their majors like multiple times in college. Like for example, I graduated from UT Martin, and when I originally, like my freshman year, I was a biology major, and then I hit my first chemistry class and decided to switch my major and became a history international studies double major, right? So students like have this revelation while they're in college and they actually figure out what they want to do. Why did you choose that major? And does that represent a specific change during your time at college?
Sure. So the reason I decided to go the finance route is something we'll actually discuss here shortly, which is part of how I got started with Tennessee Achieves. But the company that I was working for at the time was 21st Mortgage. And so during that time, I thought I was going to be staying in that field. And so I wanted to pursue finance, and I'm really glad that I did. Finance and accounting are two of probably the more rigorous majors in the business college. But I'm super glad that I did. I stayed on that track the entire time. I knew that I wanted to do finance while I was at Pellissippi. And throughout the 2 years at Tennessee, I stayed on that track. But I don't think that changing your major is really that big of a deal. I think it's more so depending on the student themselves and where they see themselves going. So one of the things that we discuss is thinking that you want to go down a route and then realizing maybe it's not for you, like nursing or some other type of medical field, because you don't understand what goes into that field, and you realize maybe this isn't the best fit for me. So you find something else, and then you realize that, oh, I actually enjoy this as well, so I want to pursue that.
That's really awesome. I think we tend to, at Tennessee Achieves, we tend to encourage our students to take advantage of those opportunities to like earn their community service hours, to job shadow, to like figure out like if that career is meant for them or if their attended major would best suit them. So we definitely encourage students to job shadow, to earn their community service hours, to, you know, become a little bit more acclimated to the industry. Candace, how about you?
For my major, I had paralegal studies, and I never really wavered from it. But to piggyback off of that, like I've had that sort of like just figuring out what major I wanted to do throughout my high school experience. I actually wanted to do journalism at first initially, and I actually wanted to also do like finance. But as soon as I heard math for finance, I was just like, no. But like I had that, and like I just feel like it was a match for me, and I just never really wavered from it. I don't really think like, yeah, like I enjoyed the content. The only like the reason why like I really never really like wavered from it was just it was like it's like a puzzle to me, and it's like just figuring out the case, just figuring out the facts of the case with also statute and things of that nature. So like in short, paralegal studies here to stay.
That's great. That's great. Cassie, what about you?
So I actually did change my major. I attended Southwest, majoring in psychology, and now I'm majoring in management and society, which is basically a pre-business degree, but it's a mixture of, you know, economic classes, sociology classes, as well as management classes. And just being able to change, I decided to do that just based on the classes I took and also just the experiences. And a lot of you guys that go through college will figure that out. You know, it's like Zach had said, it's completely fine to change. You know, during college, that is your time to figure out, you know, what you want to do, you know, take those chances and risks to see, you know, what best fits you. And it's totally better to change in the beginning or even the middle than, you know, regret it later in life. And even, you know, changing during life, like it's completely fine. And so I was able to find something that I actually, you know, really enjoy and that fits my personality and whatnot.
And to piggyback off what she was saying, just because you graduate with a major doesn't mean that that's the area or industry that you need to do your entire career in. So I did finance, and now I'm in logistics, and I consider myself to be pretty successful. So it's all depending on, you know, how the effort that you put into whatever you're doing.
That's exactly right. I think like students should take the opportunity to visit, you know, like career services on their campus. A lot of students struggle like trying to figure out their major, and the colleges actually offer that support for students who are just a tad bit indecisive about what they want to do. And like Zach, he said, like just because you choose one specific major doesn't mean that your, you know, future job will hinge on that specific major. So that's awesome. Cassie, what made you attend a community college first rather than a 4-year school?
So one being, I mean, it's free. I mean, come on now, like you can't turn down free.
Free college, right?
Literally 5 semesters. I mean, that's 5 semesters of debt that I don't have to pay back, you know? And also being in my earlier academic years, I was not a strong test taker. I did struggle with test anxiety. And so I didn't have a sufficient GPA as well as an ACT score. And so a lot of universities wouldn't be able to take that. And so doing Tennessee Promise as well as, you know, going to community college, I knew that also I wasn't really ready for a 4-year. And I think, you know, I wouldn't trade anything or any of my decisions because I wouldn't be where I am today and who I am, you know, everything that I've learned. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really great. I think college is all about like self-exploration. And I'm glad you guys have taken that opportunity to figure out what you actually want to do in life. Candace, what about you? What made you decide to attend a 2-year versus a 4-year school?
For me, it was just to, like, obviously piggyback off of Cassie, like definitely free college. And not only that, like just the fact that like in high school, like I was really like, it really kind of humbled me because like at first, like I wanted to actually go out of state, like outside the city of Chattanooga, let alone the state of Tennessee. So like I wanted to like go to like all these colleges, like New York University or even UNC at one point. And literally like during my senior year, it kind of just was like, you might want to change that. You know, it was just like I was suddenly like I was worried about missing everyone. I was worried about missing mom, missing my family. So it was definitely going to college for free, basically. Definitely being with my mom all the time because like sometimes you just need that like in-person emotional support. And also just like in an intimate kind of way, like finding my place within that because like during high school, I kind of really just lost that, to be honest. So just kind of just recuperating and just finding that, finding my way was definitely like it for me.
That's great.
So for me, just to be frank, there's no way that I would have been prepared to go right into a 4-year school. And so when I was in high school, college was not on the radar. I knew that when I graduated, I never wanted to go back to school. But I realized that that's not really an option. I mean, it is, but for the goals that I have for myself, I had to push myself. And the reason I went to Pellissippi or a community college is it was almost more of a last resort. And so when I knew that I needed to finally get my stuff together and get on the right track, community college was the best route for me. And we mentioned that it was free. I mean, that's a huge benefit. You have 2 years completely free. And so being able to go those the first 2 years completely free and transitioning into UT, I mean, it's fantastic money-wise. But another reason is, like I mentioned, I wasn't ready for a 4-year school. So when I started at Pellissippi, I did have to take those starter courses or the remedial courses, but I'm so glad that I did because it gave me the foundations of how to work as a college student, how to study, and how to pretty much be able to think on a college level. So going to the 4-year was an absolute, probably one of the best, I would even say career decisions that I've made.
It's really great. It's really great. I wanted to remind the audience that if you have any questions for our graduates, please feel free to use the chat or Q&A options at the bottom of your screen. So let's keep it moving. Candace, what goal did you achieve that felt really far away during your first year of college?
I automatically think of statistics. Like I kid you not, math and I were not the best of friends at all.
Agreed.
So like So like when I took that class, like, and the goal actually fell in my lap, to be honest, because like I really didn't have a goal necessarily. Like I just had like, just go to college, like find yourself, like see that. But then like when I entered statistics, and when I literally had an A, like I actually aced my first, if not foremost, like quiz. I was in tears. I was in happy tears because I was just like, oh my God, like I actually know math. Oh my God. So like so that goal was definitely to ace statistics. And not only that, I kind of expanded it to like make sure I at least have the GPA that I want, which is like a 3.4, 3.5, and wind up on the dean's list. And I have like every semester during Chat State, while attending Chat State, I have made the dean's list, which I'm so proud of, and I'm so happy. And thanks statistics for rejuvenating my relationship with math. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome. I think there are a lot of students right now that can definitely sympathize with the stress that like math brings onto a person, especially as a freshman in college. Like I know a lot of my students right now are stressing because of their stats courses. So yeah, like quickly, Candace, what did you do to be so successful in your stats class? Like, do you have like, something that you offer for those students that are struggling with math?
I think definitely like the teacher. Shout out to Miss Hoskins, like real MVP, honestly. Like seriously, I love her to death. And if you're hearing this, Miss Hoskins, I love you to death. Like you literally helped me find my place with math. So like thanks so much. And I think one particular thing I did was just to sort of hone in, because given that fact that I really didn't like get along with math, like I really didn't understand it, like it was just to hone in and to kind of just take notes, take good notes, like really good notes, and just to go over the topic. And I had when I was actually in that class, I actually had like a practice platform. I literally forgot what it was called, but it literally helps you. It has like all of these like concepts that you just write down. And yeah, like it was some sort of platform where you just practice like you have practice problems, and then you also go over the real, like I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but I literally forgot it. It left my head, but it literally helped a lot to kind of just understand like the topic and then also ace it. So like
I think that's wonderful. I think like when students generally are struggling with a particular subject, like they tend to like throw their hands up and just say like I can't figure this out. But it's really awesome to see that, because you were struggling with a specific subject, like you took the time and you took the initiative to dive in and really understand, what your teacher is saying. You asked questions, you went to tutoring, like all those things that you need to do to be a successful student in school. So to all my stat students out there, like I'm sure they appreciate your advice.
I can tutor.
What about you, Zach? What goal did you achieve that felt really far away during your first year of college?
So honestly, it was graduation. Because I'm sure like many that are on the call right now, the first 2-3 weeks of a new semester, you think there's no way I'm going to be able to handle this. I'm just going to drop out, I'm going to fail. And it's happened from the very beginning to this final semester. Every first 2 or 3 weeks, I think it's over. But you push yourself, and I mean you get through it and you're done. So my biggest goal is making it to graduation, which I did. And so when I look at my entire college career, by far the biggest goal is to graduate with a master's degree this fall. But how I got there through community college was being able to rely on your professors as a resource. So Candace mentioned the professors that helped her out. Being able to utilize those smaller classrooms, those 20, 30 people classrooms, I mean, that's huge. So at Tennessee, I took classes in auditoriums with 700 people. It's really hard to connect with a professor that way. But being able to have a class with 30, 40 people, it's much easier. You're able to have more of a personal relationships with your professors, and they're really there to help you out. So definitely use them as a resource whenever you can. And also your advisors as well. They're always there to help make sure that you're going down the right path.
I would definitely agree with what Zach and Candace said. To piggy off both of them, you know, definitely take advantage of office hours. I know it's very cliche to say. I honestly made great relationships and friendships with my professors as well as my advisors. You know, they're not just there to teach, they're there to get to know you. You know, if you need letters of recommendation, you know, you can't, there's a difference between saying, you know, this person, you know, showed up to my class, got an A, like the end. But if you really, you know, get the time to take the time, sorry, to know them, they can write you such an amazing letter of recommendation. And then also just, you know, if you really don't understand it, like what Candace did, you know, take the time to, you know, sit with the professor, you know, office hours, or even tutoring. I honestly made amazing friendships and connections with my tutors at Southwest. Shout out to all of them. There's too many to even name, but me and them, you know, are Facebook friends now. I mean, I showed up to one of their weddings, so like maybe, you know, you don't have to make it that personable, but I was so close with them. I mean, I was there like every day because, and that was one of my goals that I thought was super far away. You know, I struggled with school, and you know, I had to learn how to, I guess, learn correctly, you know, not be scared to ask questions when you don't understand, you know, that's what they're there for, you know, they're waiting for people to come up and say, hey, I need help, you know, instead of you struggling and waiting until, you know, the last 2 weeks until the final grades come out. And then what Candace had said earlier, to piggyback off her, some of my other goals, you know, they just fell in my lap. So I was able to pick up my grades, and I graduated summa cum laude. I made Dean's List every semester, and I was also able to join clubs such as Student Ambassador, Orientation Leader, and big shout out to Chastity for that. It was during my summer classes, and I had no idea what any of these organizations or clubs were. And she had actually recommended me Student Ambassador, and I thank her so much for that because I've made amazing long-lasting friendships with my recruiters and my current and past ambassadors and leaders. And then also I was able to join 3 honor societies because of just, you know, repetitively going to tutoring and, you know, staying after office hours. You know, don't be embarrassed if you don't understand it, because I'm sure there's someone else that doesn't understand it as well. And just taking the time to get to know your professor, get to know your tutor, even if it's just once that semester, they really appreciate that time. So that's really my goal, and also advice for anyone that's, you know, in that boat, or, you know, worried that, I guess, you know, worried that they may be bothering them. Like, I promise you're not bothering. They're literally waiting for you to come sit in their office and get to know them. So.
And definitely to discuss office hours, like that saved my tail in modern humanities. Just a little quick short story time, like literally, like there was a test, there was one of 3, and I was just literally struggling with it, and she would have us do like study guides, and we would, like, I would fill it out, and then I would come to her, I would print it off, and I would come to her, and we would just literally go over everything, like this is right, this is wrong, or like do more research on that. And that really helped me because, like, I literally did not get this. I was just like, Baroque, huh, who, what? So like it was just it was really helpful, and definitely just to piggyback, like I definitely understand, like it's hard to like sit there and just like try and digest all that information while also balancing all these other classes. But it's like it's so worth it to just like get to know your professors, like literally get face to face with them, get their email, phone number if you have to. Like, it makes a difference. It really does.
Well, and to pretty much back up what you were saying, Candace, I mean, definitely you've got to utilize your professors' office hours. So every chance I could, I would try to be in the meet with the professor whenever I could to pretty much recap what we talked about in class. So utilizing those, it's a huge resource and it pays dividends. And in all honesty, the better that you can get with the professor, the better that they're going to help your grade at the end of the semester. So if you're right on the cusp and they see you trying, I mean, I've never ran into a single professor that's not going to help you out. And then to mention and to back up what Cassie was saying, the connections that you make in college are pretty much connections that you're going to have the rest of your life. So I might have 1 or 2 friends from high school when I had like 10, 15, 20, like pretty close friends. Now it's maybe 1 or 2. The closest people in my life today are the friends that I made in college. And they're going to be there probably the rest of my life. Pretty much one of the best friends I have in my entire life I met at Mississippi. So it's pretty, those connections, be it professional or interpersonal, I mean, those are very important.
Yeah, I think it's really important to like have those connections with professors. And Zach, like you mentioned, when you get to know your professors well enough and you need a little, like maybe 2 or 3 points to jump from a B to an A.
Oh yeah.
It's a world of difference. I remember when I was in Martin, Dr. Barber was like my mentor. And I remember when I was a freshman, I would go to his class or to his office every Friday just to sit down and review the items that were discussed during the week. And because of that, we were able to develop this relationship, which turned into a friendship, which turns into anytime I'm running a mentor training in Martin, Dr. Barber and I have lunch together. So, and this is a very long time ago, but I think it is important for students to take the time to cultivate those relationships with their professors. And even in a virtual space now, because like class of 2020, they're learning virtually and remotely right now. And a lot of these professors are holding virtual office hours. So that would be a great time for a lot of these students to get to know their professors during those office hours, just for clarification on the assignments that were discussed this week. So yeah, that's great advice, guys. Let's see, Cassie, what is your dream job?
So I'm still trying to figure that out. See, you don't know everything by the age of 21. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I really do know I want to go into the sales or marketing field, and being a student ambassador and orientation leader, that really helped me solidify, I guess, that I wanted to go into that field. Being an ambassador, my main task was to go out to schools and basically sell the concept of free community college, basically. That's that free 2 years Tennessee Promise. And I loved it. I loved being able to talk to students, teachers, just, telling them how great, the 2 years is and what Tennessee Achieves has to offer. And so I kind of want to do, maybe recruiting, I don't know, maybe, something in sales and marketing, just knowing that I am helping someone at the end of the day, reach their goals and also benefiting them at the end, because that just, when I was an ambassador, knowing that I made a difference in just one student literally felt amazing. I spoke to so many students of so many different backgrounds, different shoes that they have walked in that I haven't, and, just putting myself into, or trying to put myself into their shoes and also their lens really helped me become better and more aware of, what other people's situations are. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to be an ambassador for the time that I was at my community college.
That's great. Candace, what about you? What's your dream job?
My dream job is what I'm doing now, like definitely like my paralegal. Mostly criminal law as well, like just working within the confines of that. But not only that, I've always wanted to like sort of expand on like writing. Like it was something that I'm probably going to talk about like sooner or later in this chat, but also it's just I love writing, and I love writing about my career. I love writing about like what I'm doing like within law, and just I have like I like really love writing like crime fiction and realistic fiction with like romance stuff in it. And it's so interesting to kind of just see like the connections between those two things. And it's definitely like taught me like kind of like what my audience is and like who I'm writing to. Like so for like creative writing, I'm writing to like, I'm writing to people who love like creative writing, who love books and who love like that sort of like genre. Now, when I'm doing legal writing, I'm writing like courtrooms and like lawyers, and like you have to know your audience and you have to know who you're talking to. So it's definitely like helped. And that's definitely a dream job for me. It's just to like like not only do what I'm doing, but also expand upon it with writing.
That's awesome.
So for me, I really do think that I'm living the dream. When I think about where I was 8 years ago to today, when I graduated from high school to today, there's no way that I could even imagine where I am. So with what I do, I get to travel, I get to see people face to face, of course, in a normal world. But I get to do what I love. But I would say dream job would probably be something in an executive role or a vice president role, something like that, a very senior role with a company like that I work with now, or something very similar.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So Zach, how did Tennessee Achieves impact your life?
Okay, so this is a great story, and I love telling it. I'm very proud of it.
Everybody, hold on.
Yeah. No, I've told it many times. So, as I mentioned earlier, college was never something for me. Then I realized that I needed to get on the right track, and community college was the route. So back in the day, it used to be called Tennessee Achieves. Now it's Tennessee Promise. Even before that, it was Knox Achieves when it started here in Knoxville. But the program itself was started by a few individuals, and one of those individuals, his name was Rich Ray. And so Rich Ray was my mentor, and little did I know who that was. I had no idea he started this scholarship. I had no idea he helped form the company that I used to work for. And so just out of pure luck, happenstance, whatever you want to call it, I got paired with Rich Ray. He asked what I wanted to do. At that time, I knew I wanted to do something in finance. So again, like I said, I had no idea that he was the CFO of a huge $1 billion mortgage company. And told him what I wanted to do. He said, well, I've got employment for you this summer if you're interested, literally on the very first night. So from there, of course, my career with Tennessee Achieves, and then community college, moving on to Tennessee, and then to where I am now. But I started at 21st Mortgage right after high school. So it was 11 days after I graduated from high school. I worked there for about 7 years and then just decided to go a different route. But my mentor, I mean, if it wasn't for him, Tennessee Achieves, I truly don't believe I would be, on this call today or sitting in this chair that I'm in. But I mean, that helped me to get me in the right direction. But what it really took was hard work. And so, I mean, life is not easy. You've got to put in a whole lot of hard work. But I mean, when you do, it really pays off. And for everybody watching this, I mean, you can use the three of us as an example that if you try really hard and you give it everything that you got, I mean, that's what really matters at the end of the day.
So true.
Yeah.
That's great advice, Zach. Thanks for that. Candace, how did Tennessee Achieves impact your life?
Emotional support, 2 words. I think definitely more specifically for Tennessee Achieves, my mentor Ellie. Like I love her to death. Like she was so awesome, and she helped me throughout my entire like college experience. And literally, like we would talk Like I would sometimes come to her like at the end of like my semesters, and we would like have meetings about, what happened here, what happened there. And sometimes it would just be like, um I would need like maybe like some emotional support, especially like when college would get tough and like my grades were like sort of suffering, and I was just like, oh my god, like who do I need, like why am I doing this, or what am I doing, or how am I doing it? And Ellie was like a godsend, and we would talk all the time. We would text each other. She would be like, oh, you're like basically like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, like you're like you got this, like. And sometimes you do need that push, and I think I'm probably going to discuss that like several times throughout this, so for a warning for the broken record. But I really love Ellie to death, and Ellie, if you're watching this, thank you so much.
Yeah, Ellie is definitely an essential part of our team, and she, along with the rest of our coaching staff, like our number one job is to be a support system to these students that are venturing into their first years of college. So, yeah, shout out to Ellie. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cassie, what about you?
So I have two little, I don't know if they're like stories. I guess one of them is, so my mentor was Chastity. And honestly, like, I'm so thankful for you, Chastity. You have impacted my life just as well as Zach and Candace's mentors, emotional support, just, being there to check up on me. And then just like without you, I really don't think I'd be the person I am today, with, I would have never joined Student Ambassador, made those long lasting friendships, and then also just know a lot of my school and whatnot without you. So I really want to give you a big thank you hug.
Thank you.
And then something else that really helped me was the Summer Bridge program. So that is a 3-week free. I know we say free a lot, but literally just anything with Tennessee Promise and Achieves, that's literally just all free emotional support, free just everything. It's great.
I think that's our new slogan officially. Free emotional support, free just everything.
Yes.
That down right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3-week, basically remedial program. So I'm going to be honest, I scored a 19 on my ACT, so it was not amazing. And so the remedial program is, how do I explain it? So it's during the summer. Like I said, it's 3 weeks. You have to score above a 19 on your writing, reading, and your math to be able to not take remedial classes before you take, I guess, the college class, if that makes sense. So I was able to score higher than a 19 in my writing, so I didn't have to take that. But for my other 2 classes, I did need to take remedial classes. So the 3-week program allows you to test in the beginning and to see if you can test out of those remedial classes. If you can't, you take the 3-week free program, free food. They feed you, which was great. And then also you're paired, well, not paired, but you're not the only one. There's a huge group. I believe there's like 200 or 300 people with me. And then there's also other mentors and whatnot to help you get through it. But it's great. It not only helps you prepare for taking the test again. So you'll take the test at the end as well to see if you test out of it. So you get to take it in the beginning and then also at the end. But I really enjoyed it because I got to meet a lot of friends before I even got into community college, before I started my fall semester. And then also it gives you the opportunity to know the feeling of college. It's really actually a big difference, huge change. It does not feel like high school. I'm sure a lot of you guys on here know that. But yeah, it gave me the opportunity to test out of the classes I didn't need to take, help me understand the pace of what real college is going to feel like, and then also, meet new friends so that I wasn't completely alone the first day of college. But I definitely would advise anyone to do that. It was great. I actually ended up testing out of one of them. I didn't test out of math, so I did have to take that remedial class during my first fall semester. But this 3-week program helps you so that you don't have to take the remedial classes and spend more time at community college. So even though I wasn't able to test out of one of them, I still was able to get done within that 4 to 5 semester period, instead of saying, oh no, I have to take 3 remedial classes on top of my other classes, because you really can't take, it's like a prereq. So you can't take the next class until you take this one. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really really like that program. And if you ever have Chastity as your mentor, I promise you're in great hands.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks, Cassie. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cry. I think Summer Bridge is quite possibly one of my favorite programs that we offer at tnAchieves. Like, it's just this intense math, reading, and English boot camp for students. It's 3 weeks long. It's like Cassie said, it's absolutely free to students. It is so free to the point where, like, if you need a pencil, you can come to whoever's running that program and get a pencil. Like, that's how free this program is.
Yeah,
And
I got a free calculator. I use it
yeah. And I remember like going around the schools and like championing Summer Bridge, and it was like, we feed you because it's amazing college. This is a great program. You should join. So yeah, I think that's great.
So that's a plus.
Yeah, Southwest has great wins. I think I think it's really important for students to participate in the Summer Bridge program so that they can become acclimated to college. Like there's no one holding your hand during the summer. You're required to go to all 3 of your classes. And like Cassie said, you test out on the last day. And we have such great numbers for those students who participate in the Summer Bridge program. I mean, yeah, it is my favorite part of the school year. So Candace, many students who began college never earn a degree, but you did, right? Like, yay. What do you think was the difference maker for you?
Broken record and emotional support. Literally, it was because of so many people that I have and so many people I gained in my life, like Ellie, like my mother, like Miss Gardner from Technical Girls Leadership Academy, from like so many people, because sometimes it really gets difficult. And sometimes you literally want to stop. You literally want to like just say, pull the plug. I'm dropping out. I'm done. But like, you have people in your life that sort of just, I would think, metaphorically speaking, serve as like a fence. Like, hey, you're not doing that. Do not do that. Like, you have a self-constitution about yourself. You're going to do this. You want to do this. You wanted this. You wanted to like do this. You wanted to do paralegal studies. You wanted to like achieve. You wanted to make yourself proud. You wanted to make your family proud. You wanted to do all that. Stop right there, you know? And just that being there, that being of existence in my life, like really just helped me. And I think that's what makes the difference, is like, if you don't have that kind of like group that's just like, and I'm not saying not only like professors and mentors, awesome. And I have like also like friends and people as well that are just like, don't drop out. You got this. You know what you're here for. You know why you're doing this. And once you like sort of come to that, like basically a come to Jesus moment, like you just finally like break out of that and just keep going. And you sometimes need that probably more than once, probably more than like 1 week, like more than like every single day at times, because literally it gets that rough. It gets that nuts, because it's like you have all this work and then also you're balancing like this, or you're balancing that. And like you're balancing like, and I know some people who are not only balancing college, but are also balancing raising kids, also balancing work, also balancing this. And like that is sometimes even the most common reason why people drop out. But it's like, you went in here to literally do this for yourself, to literally like become a better version of yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And I think just having those kind of people in your life that just tell you that, it really helps. It really does make the difference.
So awesome.
I couldn't agree more with that. So we've talked about a support system for the last 10, 15 minutes of this call. And I mean, a support system is crucial. So as Candace was saying, you've got your professors, you've got your mentors, you've got the more professional side of people that are there for you, but you've got to have those personal, those people that are right there with you no matter what. And so I can't go this entire call without mentioning my mom. And so if it wasn't for her, I mean, there's no way, when I look at the degree that I have, it might as well have her name under mine. Because if it wasn't for her, there's no way I would have been able to get through 4 years or, well, 6 years of school. So being able to have that person or group of people that is there for you thick and thin, they only want you to succeed. But what makes it better is you can go to them, talk to them about, you know, I feel like I'm going to drop out. I don't think college is right for me. I mean, you can't go to a professor like that. I mean, you can, but you know, their expectation for you is to do the program. But it's all about your support system, your friends, your family, whoever it may be. Reach out to them. I mean, they're the ones that care for you the most.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because I know quite a few students who don't have a support system that they can rely on to be supportive for them. And like for those students, I always try to reassure them that, you know, not only myself, but our entire team is there to be a support system for students. So like, I'm sure you guys remember every single Monday, you guys received a tnAchieves email. Well, those still continue, even though you've graduated. But with those emails, like students, if you guys ever have any questions or you feel like, you know, you're wondering and you really don't know where you're going, or you feel like you need some additional support, like you guys can always respond to one of those Monday emails and we can schedule an appointment and we can hop on a call and we can, you know, work on this together. Because at the end of the day, we just want you guys to graduate. That's our end goal. Cassie, what about you?
Pretty much like everything Candace and Zach said. Just really having that family support, any kind of support, whether it's from close friends or, you know, professional people like Zach said. You know, shout out to my family. They have been so supportive since honestly day one, since I started walking. So, you know, they've been really helpful. You know, my amazing tutors, close friends, just, you know, having people in your corner and also just surrounding yourself with people that have the same goals and same same goals, ambitions, and then also just I guess the same mind as you, you know, putting, you know, surrounding yourself with people that want the best for you and that you want the best for them. It's just having that positive vibe around you. You don't want to be surrounded by people that, you know, are going to be negative, because then you end up saying, oh, wow, I really don't believe in myself. You know, like Candace says, there's been plenty of days where I don't believe in myself, you know, or how am I going to make it even to the next year? And, you know, having my family members and my friends and my mentor Chastity saying, you know, you got it. Just those simple, encouraging words can make such a difference. And honestly, like, if anyone needs a mentor, like, I'm here. You know, I've learned so much from my family and, you know, people, and I love to give back and be someone's encouragement too. So if anyone needs one, let me know.
Same here. Same here.
That's a good point.
Together, like,
yes,
we can vent together. I'm always down. So
exactly.
That's awesome.
because most likely, I mean, we've all been through it. I mean, even the people that have already graduated, or the parents that are watching now, or the students are going through it now, you know, we've been through it. And I promise you, if you think that no one, you know, knows how you feel, there's going to be at least one person that does. And just having that connection with someone and talking about it can really just make a huge difference. So never feel like you're alone, ever.
Yeah, that connectivity piece is like really important. And then after we're done with this, I'm going to get you guys to sign up to be mentors, because we're actually recruiting mentors for the class of 2021, and we need, you know, 9,000 for the state of Tennessee. So be on the lookout for that. Uh, so this is an all call. What advice would you give to the class of 2020 enrolling in a community college or a Tcat program? So right now, virtual learning space, we have a lot of students who feel very confident, but then we also have some students who are a little rocky. What advice would you give those students who are in their first semester of college?
I'll go ahead and start this one. So I'm glad you mentioned the TCAT. I think that's something that we haven't really talked about. Those are fantastic programs that we have to offer students. So whoever wants to go down those routes, I mean, absolutely. I have so much respect for people that are wanting to do that. And then of course, so much respect for people that are wanting to go into community college. Biggest advice that I could give you first year is you just got to grind it out, and then you get into a rhythm almost, or a groove of where you learn how to be a student, because college is so much different than high school. It may not seem like it when you're there, but it really is. We talk about the professors, they're there to help you, but at the end of the day, they're not there to pass you. And so you've really got to put in the effort. It's going to be hard. There's going to be projects that are going to be extremely hard. Organizing with groups are hard. Tests are hard. College is not easy, and that's why not everybody has a degree. You know, we would all have one. So the biggest advice that I can give is you know, work as hard as you can, use every resource that's out there for you, and then just don't be afraid to ask questions. If you ever need help, I mean, there's always somebody there to help you out. So always ask questions.
Yeah, I would piggy off Zach as well. Also, just remember to take a day to yourself, because burnout does exist.
Yes.
I have experienced it. I'm sure everyone live and everyone in this group has experienced it. Take a day to just literally, if it means going to a park. I'm only 3 hours away from the beach, which is great. But taking a day to the park, beach, wherever, even in your room, don't even think about school. I know it's really hard because I had to tell myself, but literally just put on your favorite show, do something that makes you happy, because you cannot succeed if you are so tired. You're not going to perform your best. So just taking that day to really relax and recoup, like getting your mental health back to somewhat normal. I'm not going to say normal because mine is definitely not normal, but somewhat back to normal. It's great. So definitely, remind yourself to do that. And then also experience college. It's not always about academics. Join those clubs, make new friends, go out to eat, go to the games, football games. I know it's kind of hard right now, but once everything gets back to normal, not COVID, go to those games, go to the clubs, and just like Zach said, just grind through it. It is really hard. It's a huge difference, but it's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid. You're going to have to do it, even though you really want to drop out and you're not going to get through it. Like, I promise you will. If you just grind through it and show that you really want to do it, you will do it. So that's my a lot of advice, but yeah.
If I can make a comment on that. So with what I said, it is hard work, but I don't want to scare off anybody. Yeah. Everything that you do in school is manageable. They're never going to give you something that's too hard to do, unless you take some of the accounting classes that I took at Tennessee. But one of the biggest things that Cassie said is taking time for yourself. That is huge. If it's one day a week, if it's Sunday, if it's Saturday, let that be the day where you don't think about anything school related. And so when she was mentioning football games, some of the best memories I have were in Neyland Stadium watching Tennessee football. And I know you love that, Chastity, but seriously, I mean, that's really the biggest things that I remember are the things outside of the classroom. And so just take advantage of everything that you can.
Yeah, I think that's why like time management is so important for students, because you do need those days of self-care. But if you neglect your assignments all week long, you really have no time to like sit and chill and watch The Office for the 180th time,
Yeah.
right?
Don't
That's
get behind.
yeah, don't get
Yeah,
behind.
there's a balance here.
There's a balance.
And don't take every day off.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
every day.
More specific. Yeah, don't go to the beach or don't go to the park for like 5 days straight. You know, once a week.
Yeah, priorities along with self-care and encouragement, I all make a great student. Yeah. Candace, what about you?
Definitely. Cassie's point in its entirety, I think definitely that would be my piece of advice. Also to add on, I would think like I'll never forget like at Chat State, like I still have memories of River Park that's literally right behind the college. Like I discovered this like in about good like towards the end of my first spring semester. And whenever I was so stressed out about classes, whenever I was so like, oh, I hate college, because like we have these moments where you're like, why am I doing this? So I decide, like whenever I'm done with work, by the way, because make sure like you're done. But like whenever I'm done with work, whenever like I have those moments, I literally stepped outside of campus and just walked into that park. And I kid you not, I walked that entire trail, bumping to Vaporwave, bumping to my Spotify, literally was like my medication. It was literally my medicine, because it was just I needed that. And I think definitely to back to piggyback off of like Cassie and Zach, definitely like when you do make time for yourself, make time for yourself. Don't even think about college. Don't even like I mean, in a way, don't think about college. Like, I mean, also like make sure you're focused on work, obviously, but like definitely like find something to do that has nothing to do with college. Because going back to what I was talking about earlier with writing, like that was also my medication, because like I would sometimes write how I feel, how I'm feeling, or why am I feeling this way, or like what's going on in my life at that moment. And writing really helped with that. And it was kind of like like given the subject matter that I was writing on at times, like it was literally like it was like calling me to like get back into that, because you know what to do here. Like this is like, why are you doing this? Like go back, get back in there. It's like get back in that ring and fight. It's like this like the back of your hand. And that's what writing did for me. And not only that, like it was just that, like it's just listening, like for me it's just listening to music and writing. And if people like find hobbies like maybe like cooking or like baking, and I'm thinking about getting into baking maybe soon, but making those good old baked goods. But like also not only that, exercising. And I discovered this actually after I graduated, or about like somewhere in my final spring semester. Like I just worked out, and literally all that anger, all that scaredness, all that anxiety, I just poured that into my Spotify music playlist, poured that onto my biked my tail off for like literally a whole hour, So, I mean, just things that aren't related to college, but will get you back into the groove of it.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it is very important for students to like have like outside interests. I know I have a lot of students that are struggling because they're going to work full time, they're going to school full time, and they feel like they have nothing else in their like they can't do anything else with their time because they're busy with work or busy with school and assignments, and they have no free time. So I know that I always try to stress to them like just take a couple hours, take a day for yourself to do absolutely nothing. Oh, and Candace, I bake. So if you ever want some recipes, let me know. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Because I literally want to jump into that like so much. Like, because I've seen it on YouTube. I was like, oh, this is how you make cookies.
Yeah.
I don't burn down the house though, but
yeah. So you guys did a great job. Thank you for sharing all of your experiences and your stories. I believe we have a few questions, Jackie.
We had a few questions, but you guys did such a great job at answering all of Chastity's questions that we pretty much covered everything that people asked, and are already at our time limit and want to be respectful of everyone's times. But thank you guys so much for sharing your stories, and Chastity, such a great job pulling out all of the tips and tricks from all of these graduates. And I know a lot of students and other people that were watching got a lot out of this panel. So thank you guys so much. We have several other panels throughout the week. So if you go onto our website and want to find some more, you will learn so much. They've all been really great. And last thing I want to note is there were a lot of people saying congratulations and talking about how proud they were of you guys the whole time. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really glad to be here today.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for actually to the three of you for just taking the time to like share your stories, like Jackie said. You guys are all graduates, and you're truly an inspiration, not only to those of us on the team, but to the students that are watching and those that are coming after you. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to hop on a call with us today. And I mean, you guys are Tennessee Promise graduates, so congratulations again.
Gives me chill bumps. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Great one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.